welcome to Eat Well, Be Happy. I'm Deborah.
I'm Robin.
And we're going to be making 3 vegetable dishes, not only because we love vegetables ourselves and because they're so good for us, but for all of our vegetarian and vegan friends out there. This one's for you, babe.
Yeah.
All right, first one, we want to get into the oven. We've got the oven turned on to 450 degrees, and we're going to be chopping like crazy. We call this one roasted carrots with beets, fennel, and za'atar.
Very good.
All right, you want about 2 pounds of carrots, about 2 pounds of beets, and about 2 pounds of fennel. And Robin is going to be cutting the carrots, and I'm going to be cutting the fennel. So, I mean, fennel is a really funny looking vegetable, and I can say that I never quite figure out what to do with all of it. I mean, I know that I can put the tops and the stems and things and make a soup stock, which is what I try and do a lot of times, but I just feel that I must be missing something. So if you out there in Sheboygan know what to do with fennel, please write in and tell us. Tell us what to do with all this stuff and how you use it. And fennel is this wonderful Italian vegetable and really has kind of a licorice taste, but it also helps digestion. And I know that my mother used to sort of simmer it just for a minute or two and then put it in lemon juice and olive oil and garlic, and then we'd eat it cold on top of things. It was great. But we are just going to sort of slice this fennel and then put it in with the carrots and beets. I happen to love fennel raw, but it's really good. It's really good roasted too. And you can see I have no real method to my madness here. Just going to put it all in. But I have to stop and eat a little bit. Oh.
This is really fragrant.
Want a little piece of fennel?
Smells like licorice.
Want a little piece of fennel?
Sure.
A little or big?
Little. Haven't had it in a while. Usually have it roasted.
Well, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be roasting it.
Very nice.
Okay.
Really licoricey.
And even if you don't like licorice, and I know a lot of people don't, try the fennel. You might be surprised that you like it this way. And I wish there were a science for cutting it, but it's all good. What do I think? Good enough? Good enough. And I'm going to help Robin cut the beets because we want this in a 450 degree oven until the vegetables are beginning to color and the beets are tender. And that takes different amounts of time depending on where you live and the weather and all of that. And please notice that we just scrub the beets. We're not peeling them. Who has time to peel? I don't understand. We're a nation of vegetable peelers. And I just think we can do without that completely. Plus, we want those extra nutrients that are in the peel.
I'm cutting these about the same size as the carrots, so they all cook.
And I'm cutting them slightly differently, and it's all good.
It's all fine. What about this guy?
Oh, I forgot about it. I was peeled it off. Do you think we should use that?
Oh, you peeled it off?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it, you want me to throw it in the bucket?
Yeah, we'll put it in the compost bucket.
Will do.
Beets I absolutely love. I grew up eating them raw in a grated salad, but beets roasted, beets raw, beets however you like it, color your hands red. We could use it as a rouge right now. But it also helps lower blood pressure, it helps enrich the blood, so it's a really wonderful food and not very expensive either, even when you buy them organic. Although organic is getting a bad rap, it's not always more expensive. So lose that from your mind out there in Boise City. Organic is not always more expensive, and it is a lot higher nutrient values.
That's right.
Okay, we've got our vegetables there, and we want to put in about 1/4 cup of olive oil, and you can just glug that.
Okay.
And then I am looking for the Korean. I have a Korean red pepper, and I'm going to put in there probably, I don't know. I'm tempted to use it all, but then I might spice you out. What do you think? Do you like spicy?
How hot is that?
I don't care.
Okay. Guess we're gonna find out.
So I used it up and then I can start with a fresh batch. So we've got our Korean red pepper in there, about a teaspoon as you saw. And then we are going to be putting in za'atar. Za'atar, there are as many kinds of za'atar as there are mom's apple pie, right?
Right.
So it's usually hyssop from Israel or the Mediterranean or the Arab countries, sesame seeds. What else is in there? Usually some salt, and I forgot what else is in za'atar, but it's a nice spice mixture. So we're putting in about a tablespoon or two of za'atar, and Robin's going to toss that with her hands.
Time. Is there time in this?
No. So we've got our 2 pounds of beets, our 2 pounds of carrots, our 2 pounds of fennel, and we have in there a quarter of a cup of olive oil, 3/4 of a cup of salt, which we don't have yet. So here's some salt, 3/4 of a cup. 3/4 of a cup. Listen to me. 3/4 of a teaspoon.
Well, you said zalt too,
Zalt,
so that's
okay.
fine. I knew what you
So I
were
got away
talking
with it.
about.
And then we're just going to put that juice of 1 lemon. So that's usually about 1/4 of a cup. So there's that.
Okay, you want it right on in?
You got to toss it again.
Okay.
I added the lemon juice.
I just washed my hands.
I know. And then we're going to put it in that 450-degree oven, and we're going to roast it until until it's nice and soft. And I do want to say that fennel is an ancient Chinese remedy for everything from congestion to conjunctivitis. It stimulates the appetite, helps with gas, good for all that kind of stuff.
Alrighty.
All right, you.
Here we go. Okay.
Okie
Now,
dokie.
what are we gonna make?
We're going to do
Now.
we're going to do a salad with beans. Remember all those childhood rhymes about beans?
Yeah.
It ain't true. It ain't true if you cook your beans with a piece of kelp or kombu, which breaks down that indigestible part, or if you buy Eden beans because they cook theirs with kelp or kombu. And as far as I know, they're the only ones who do that. So I'm going to move this bowl to get it out of our way. Oops. Until we're ready for it. But I also forgot to say about fennel. According to Chinese medicine, it's good to help with snake bites. So if you're going to the desert,
Make
a
sure
good
you
use
bring
for
your fennel.
Bring your fennel fronds
Okay.
that you don't know what else to do with. It also stimulates milk for nursing moms, and in the supplement department in our store, we sell fennel capsules to increase milk production. But anyway, also soothes sore throats.
Yes, mine's sore and soothes now.
Our next salad we're going to make, or our next dish, you could use it as a main dish actually, is we're calling it white bean and artichoke salad with sumac and herbs. And we're only going to be using 1 or 2 herbs. We have here a can. Would you mind draining those a little better for
Sure.
me?
I
Here.
got them. I got them.
Without a strainer, you got one?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Strainer.
Strainer in the bottom and the spinner thing there.
No, I was just showing you my strainer.
Oh, you were showing. She was showing me her strainer and I didn't get it. Got it now. Again, eat more beans. Good for you. We're going to be using about 3 cups of white beans, any kind you like. Today we're using a cannelli bean because I like them. And we're going to be using about half a red onion diced. Robin is just going to put those right into the salad bowl. This is another one of those, how easy can I make it? Can I mix it all in one bowl? Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Well, I have to tell you.
What?
I'm very happy to see that there's 3 additional garlic cloves here because I only saw 1. It's like, that's not enough garlic.
All right, I'm chopping the onion, and Robin is going to put in about 14 ounces. Oh, Robin is doing a red pepper.
Well, for some reason, that's not working too well.
You too can be an unprofessional onion chopper. That looks to me like more than a half a cup of red onion. All right, run diced red pepper. And you know, they say that if you have arthritis, for instance, And if you're having episodes of joint pain, maybe to stay away from the nightshade vegetables for a while. And the nightshade vegetables are tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, potatoes. However, for some reason, red peppers are exempt from that and red potatoes are exempt from that. And my mother used to find that if her joints hurt because she was having too much of a good thing with too many tomatoes in the summertime, if she stopped all peppers except for red peppers, and if she stopped all potatoes except for red potatoes, it really did work for her.
Wow. I didn't know those two things about
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's all about, we're all different, and it's all about trying and finding what works for you. But those are some things that have worked for lots of people, so it might work for you too. All right, I'm going to put in only that much red onion. Notice Robin was checking it out.
Making sure you
Okay.
got enough in there.
So our artichoke hearts are here. So about 2 cups of artichoke hearts.
Do you want them chopped a little? They're kind
I
of.
don't think so,
You
but
sure?
maybe drained a little bit.
All right.
And then about 1 cup of olives. And I always buy pitted calamatas or pitted niçoise. And if I get niçoise, because they're smaller, I don't need to chop them. But I didn't have any niçoise at home, so I'm using calamatas.
You want them hold on? Do you want them right on in?
Right on in.
Okay.
Just throw them in, baby.
There we go.
This is a throwing kind of a kitchen.
Alrighty.
All right, and we're going to put in about how much basil? About there I am going to cups. 3/4 of a teaspoon of basil, which that is,
Okay. I was gonna say that looks about right.
and about
There
a
we go.
1/4 of a cup of a good olive oil.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Okay. What else?
All right.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah, but let's get the lettuce. Let's tear the romaine in.
Are you gonna put it in or?
I was going to put it in.
Okay.
I think that'll, and it would be nicer if it were dry. So let's tap that dry. Salad spinner works even better, as you know, but for now, you know that a salad dressing doesn't stick to wet lettuce leaves, they say. All right, let's check it. So we've got our garlic.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oops.
garlic. Our garlic.
We need salt and pepper.
And we need sumac too, don't we?
And we also need either vinegar or lemon juice, whatever.
Sumac.
That's instead?
No, but let's get our sumac before we forget that.
There.
Sumac is a wonderful red, well, it's a spice from a berry, and there are different kinds of sumac. This one happens to be the culinary sumac from the Middle East, and you can see, I keep mine in my freezer because I don't use it every day, but you can see it's kind of red, and it has a nice citrusy flavor. So it just adds this undefinable something. It's used on chicken dishes, on lamb, on beef, on cheese dishes, on fattoush, which is a tomato bread salad. All right, we want about 2 teaspoons of sumac. That looks about 2 teaspoons of sumac to me. And we have our olive oil in there,
Yep.
and now our little bit of lemon juice.
Okay.
About 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. I think that's just fine.
Okay. Salt and pepper.
Yes, salt and pepper. About a teaspoon of each.
Okay, that looks good.
All right. Do you mind if I toss this with my hands? Do you
I
mind?
don't mind.
Do you mind? Untouched by human hands, as they say. And Robin had asked me if we wanted to put the romaine in. We could have bedded it and had the romaine on the plate instead of in here. But this just somehow feels, it's what I felt like doing now. And this is a heavy salad, a heavy kind of a wet salad because of the beans and the artichoke hearts and the olives. So I think the lettuce mixed in will just lighten it up a little bit. I'm going to taste a bean and then I'm going to wash my hands. You want to taste it and see what you think?
Yeah, I wanted to see if there was enough stuff on it.
Think it needs more salt?
I do.
So beans have a tendency to absorb a lot of flavors. And if you make this, you can make this the night before and leave out the romaine and just put it in the fridge. This becomes a wonderful picnic salad. Ooh. But that's why you need to taste this one for sure. And if I were making it the night before, I wouldn't put the romaine in, I would put it in the next day.
It would be great the night before. It'll be all marinated. Like, that's
Nothing like a marinated bean salad.
nice.
I am going to get a cloth and we'll just wipe that around.
Okay.
Robin and I really love e-cloth. It's there's some sort of, I know it's not the only one, but magic fiber, and it doesn't grow bacteria, and it just with water, it just cleans. Does that look enough for now?
Yeah. It has like about a, didn't you
Micro-
say a million per
I'm not
inch
sure. Let's
of
get our,
microfibers?
we're going to be moving, I just wanted to say, do we know that artichokes are a member of the sunflower family? Did you know that?
No.
Neither did I. So the sunflower family, we always think of those beautiful yellow flowers, and we think of all the benefits they have, like vitamin E and other things. So artichoke hearts, I used to think were kind of a throwaway food, and they're really not. They really do have nutritional value as well. We thought we would do string beans a different way for you. So we're going to do string beans with a different dressing. We have here about 6 cups of string beans. Oh, we should have turned that on earlier. Oh, phooey.
That's all right. That probably will do pretty well.
Okay.
Do you have any water in there?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
All right, we're going to get the rest of the salad done.
All right.
Would you mind shredding these carrots?
Oh, sure.
So we're going to shred, we want about 6 cups of lightly cooked green beans. And then we're going to have about a cup of raw shredded carrots, which Robin is going to do. We want about a cup of diced celery, and I'm going to do that. Celery is another one that works on high blood pressure. Plus it tastes crisp and crunchy, has natural sodium.
Just a quick. This won't take long.
Here comes.
Okay, here comes the
carrots. And remember that onion that I said looked too much for the other salad? So I'm going to put it in this one now. Voila. And notice untouched by human hands. What could be better than hands? Now, I want you to actually really look at that and tell me if you can see any of the peel. Can you see any of the peel there? Don't those look like just perfectly shredded, naked carrots, no peel? Naked carrots, but with the peel. Only you can't see it. All right, Missy, so we have in
Okay.
there our celery, our red onion. We need some salt.
Some more salt?
Some more salt.
Okay. How much would you like?
Let's do about a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use about half a teaspoon of spike that also has salt. I love spike. It's a mixture of all kinds of herbs and spices. Goes back to the 50s. 50s, I think. One of the original health food companies in this country, Gaylord Hauser. Modern Living it was called. Remember my Aunt Anna introduced that to me and it was the first spice I used when I made chicken for a boy who came over for dinner.
Oh boy.
I just did chicken and spike, and he thought he had died and gone to heaven.
That reminds me of my grandparents' house because every time I would open the cabinet where the spices were, that was the only
With
smell.
spike.
That's the only smell you could smell.
But look at the old-fashioned label. I mean, they haven't jazzed themselves up at all. And then we're going to put in there 2 cloves of garlic, and Robin is going to do that.
Okay.
And then 2 tablespoons of tamari. So you can see this is really shaping up to be different. A little Asian theme there. And we'll do some cilantro, but I'm going to check on the green beans. I don't know how you all use towels.
Well, it's better than grabbing it with your bare hands.
Do these look done?
See? Like,
look
that's
done.
like super presto.
All right.
Look how nice those are. Would you like me to chop up some of this cilantro for you?
Actually,
Or do
what
you want
I'd
it
like
in-
is for you to get a pot holder so we can drain the beans into here in the sink and then chop the beans.
Okay. As soon as you're ready, I'm coming over.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. It's not big enough, is it?
It'll be okay.
We drained the beans, we put them in a colander and ran cold water over them for just about 30 seconds. Could do it more if you like. You could cook the beans ahead of time. But the fact that they're still warm means they'll absorb the flavors in the dressing more. So maybe that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
And you're gonna cut them on a diagonal.
How, what do you want, just bite size?
Yeah.
Like this?
Well, I would do each one in half and make people struggle a little bit.
Oh boy.
You're not adverse to putting a big piece of bean in your mouth for lunch, are you?
Fine.
Just because. I don't know, it seemed like a good idea to me.
All right. Here we go.
And I'm going to cut some cilantro. So we have in there our carrots. We're going to have soon our 6 cups of lightly cooked green beans. And you can see these are really nice and bright green still.
They're really well done.
And we steam them only, what, about 3 minutes?
Yeah.
About 3 minutes. 3 minutes is all you need to steam your beans. 1 cup of raw shredded carrot. I think there's a little bit more. And they're naked carrots in all their glory. They have their skin on. Half a cup of diced celery, doesn't matter. Depends on how much you love or don't love celery. Our half a cup of red onion. Our teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of spike, quarter of a cup of rice vinegar. So I'm going to put that in. I think that's...
Does this one get olive oil?
Yes.
Okay. Just haven't gotten there
Oh,
yet.
ye of little faith.
Oh. Just checking.
All right, so we have our rice vinegar in there. And then we have our tamari and a quarter of a cup of olive oil. Let's see if I can use the last of this one up. I think that's a scant. That's not quite a cup of olive oil.
Good thing we have some more.
Yeah. Although I might be shaking just enough out. Again, make sure your olive oil is the real deal. It's like everything else. You want to eat the best quality you can because your food is meant not only to give us pleasure, which it does, and not only meant to be shared with family and friends, but it's meant to nourish us. And how can it nourish us if it's not the best quality? So, honey, you're worth it. You better do the best. And I think a little cilantro, so I'll cut that. And you can see this kind of green bean salad is a little bit different, has kind of Asian overtones. And believe it or not, it's one of the things I served for Passover this past year. And people did enjoy it. They thought I was a little crazy, but they enjoyed it. They said, Passover? Asian green beans? But what I tried to do was bring in tastes and from around the world and different cultures.
I'm going to peek at these veggies
Yeah.
because I can smell them.
How are they doing?
They seem to be doing just fine. I'm going to give them a little.
Okay, and I think I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to use my hands just because. A little hard to mix otherwise. So I'm just looking at these two salads right next to each other, and I'm just looking at the colors, and I'm looking, they're so different, and their tastes are going to be different. But man, oh man. And if you're the person who craves that meat or fish, so have a piece of it right next to these. But don't forget your veggies, and don't forget to make them organic. How'd you like to grab a string bean, Robin, and tell me how it tastes?
Okay, let's see.
Both of these salads benefit from marinating, from allowing them to sit overnight in your refrigerator, but that's not what we're doing today.
Looks yummy.
Yummy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel it licking I guess that would not be couth for me to lick.
You know what? I want to put a tiny bit more salt on it. and
Okay.
then, since you already got yucky hands, okay?
They're not yucky.
Well,
They're just oily.
There you go.
My hands aren't yucky.
Okay, since you have oily hands.
Oily hands. I know green beans are one of the national favorites and national pastimes. Never been a real fan. I go absolutely gaga for this salad. Just can't get enough of it. Just love it.
And that's a great way to use all those beans you grow in the garden that you really, kind of get sick of because they all
Come in at once.
come at one time. It's like, what are we doing now with these?
What are we doing now with these?
No, with the beans, Like when you're in the garden, you say, now, what are we going to do?
Got it. Got it.
Got it.
All right. I just want to say that I don't usually think of green beans as being as healthy as other vegetables or other greens. That ain't the case. They're green. They got chlorophyll. And they say the chlorophyll is the blood of the plants. Did you know that they also are a good source of beta-carotene?
Green beans?
Yeah. Did you know that?
Nope.
Beta-carotene. What do we need that for? Our
Eyes.
eyes, among other things. But
I think of orange.
you think of orange, and so I don't think of string beans with
Right.
relation to beta-carotene, but that's not so. And the studies have shown that string beans have lutein, which again is a supplement a lot of people take for eye health.
Right.
And they also, I think I'm going to let it go there. Let's get our roasted vegetables out.
Okay.
Even though they may not be quite done,
They're not quite done.
let's bring them out. Let's
Okay.
get them out. I just want to show you, and we could put some fennel. I was playing around with this bunch of fennel, so probably not hygienic to put it on the food. So I'll spare you that, but let's just make a plate of some food and just show you how pretty that will look. I'm using the same spoon for all, probably not the best, but just, look at the colors. Now picture, if you're not a vegetarian, picture a piece of fish, piece of chicken, or something like that. And just, Robin and I really love vegetables, and we love our salads. And it's not that we don't love other kinds of food too, but let's remember to do our bit and to eat those veggies, because gosh, they do their darndest to grow for us in the soil, don't they?
They do.
Okay.
They do.
And do we think Otis, remember Otis who doesn't like vegetables? Do we think Otis would enjoy these? I think so.
I'm sure.
All right, Otis, here's looking at you. Give us a call and let us know when your mom makes them for you. From Deborah,
And Robin.
remember, we want you to eat well and be happy, because we want to see that lovely smile. Bye, guys.